we go.
Okay, hello everybody. Happy Friday. Today is August 7th. MVP office hours number, really big number. Squire, do you know the number? I don't know what the number is.
307, maybe 306, something like that.
6-7, I don't know.
Don't do that. Nope.
I
Hey, we have
hope
to
that
start the recording
I
over.
hope
All
that's
right.
gone. I hope that's gone, right?
Yeah.
Um, Welcome to MVP Office Hours, where everyone in the Salesforce ecosystem is welcome to join us and talk about their challenges and collaborate on solutions. Um, We call it MVP office hours because that's how it started. It's not because that's who it's for. It's for everybody. We generally meet on the first and the third Fridays. You can follow Squire and I on LinkedIn if you want to catch up on what we're doing. Oh, it looks like we have someone to add into the room.
Yep.
Um, we do have the website mvpofficehours.info, and we have an email address, but we focus on what comes through the community a little bit more easily. So if y'all could post your questions up into the community, that's the place to do it. Registration is the bit.ly/mvpoh, and our upcoming MVP office hours are August 21st and September 4th. And then I think we are undecided on the week of, oh no, I think we decided that we're not doing this the week of Dreamforce. Is that accurate?
Yeah, we're gonna try to.
Because
I think we should try to put something together, even if it's just like a half-hour meet and greet. But yeah, no meeting or no session.
no recorded meeting with here virtually
Yep.
because we are going to be either in the air or otherwise busy in
Yep.
person. All right, so the next slide, we have shifted things up a little bit. Salesforce events. We've got Dreamforce in September, TDX in March. The Tableau conference is coming in spring, and Connection is also coming in spring, early summer next. Oh, location coming soon. I wonder if they're going to change from Chicago. Interesting. But salesforce.com/events/ and then you can get your stuff. And then we have our community conferences that are coming up. Dreamin' in Color is in Atlanta, gosh, next week. And then SoCal Dreamin' is later in August. Mile High Dreamin' in Denver in August. We have the interruption of Dreamforce Week, and then conferences pick back up in October. And it's trailhead.salesforce.com/community/conferences/ you can find it there.
Yep.
All right. This is a familiar slide. It's kind of like our safe harbor, but not really. That's what I should do. I should put this as like MVP office hour safe harbor.
That would
Um,
be funny.
yes.
And making sure we have ChatGPT turn this into something that's completely unreadable and just assure everyone it's okay.
So we want everyone to share here. You're all here because you want to build your community space. If you have questions, post it in the chat or raise your hand. We are recording the session to post on YouTube later. Please do not share any private or proprietary information. It protects you, it protects us, it keeps everyone in their current jobs. And we do ask that we don't transcribe any of this call with an AI tool. We've already turned one off today. And then just a reminder, we want to have fun, stay professional and positive, and tell a friend, invite a peer. Sometimes it just takes another perspective to uncover what the challenge really is. So everybody's welcome. We're glad you're here. And do you know the next slide, Squire?
Yeah.
Was Jay. Looking forward to our next call. And where is Jay? Darn it, Jay. Darn it.
He's
So
always putting out a
I
fire. I
didn't
bet you he
open
got
the
caught.
chat up yet. Do we have any questions from our peoples today?
Nothing yet. But I did notice something is this, and maybe this is new just only to me, which wouldn't be surprising, but history is showing up from past calls in the chat log. Are you seeing that too?
I don't know. Let me open the chat window.
Right? Like, is that a new thing that it
Well,
remembers past chats
you
from past
you
meetings?
be I just have new messages for
Oh,
everyone.
well, it's just
I
super
think
special for
because
me
I
then, huh?
think well, I think it is because you own the Zoom account.
Yeah, I've never seen it before, but that's super handy because every once in a while we reference a link
Mhm.
from last time. Now I can go get it. So
Now you've got the knowledge. You've got the knowledge. This is
I
great.
got the
This is
skill
great.
set ahead of me. So, all
So,
right.
Aurora, Tony, Christy, Allison, questions. I'm not asking Linda because Linda comes with my answers half the time. If Linda's got a challenge, I need to hear what it is, though. Linda, come on. I didn't even get a reaction.
Hmm.
Well, I don't really have a challenge other than,
That's what
a project we're working on and trying to use Claude, and I don't like get yet.
Uh, that's exactly what I mean, though.
Yeah.
Mm.
That's fantastic. So on Monday, if you remember the last couple weeks, we've been talking about the whole new like login situation. And I was feeling super special because I've got people who like took care of things for me. What they didn't take care of though for me was my Capato governance org. And so that smacked me square in the face Monday. Um, and I was
Fun.
like, what do I need to do?
Mm.
It was not awesome, but we did get through it. So it worked out okay. Got my whatever it is set up, but I'm not really sure how it's working right now. I do know it's working because I was able to log in again this week and complete a release. So that was all
There you
right.
go.
Yeah.
We had a weird one with the step up too, where people were like, you're supposed to get the step up notification and it's supposed to last for, I think it was 2 hours or something. And people were
Hmm.
getting it on every export and freaking out, and we couldn't break that loop. And yeah, it was this whole like June transition thing has been a painful experience for a lot of people. So
Yeah, it'll be a thing. It'll be a
yeah,
thing. The I don't know how to make it better. Like they sent out so many reminders. It's not like we didn't know. Like
yeah,
it's not like we didn't know. Like I think Salesforce does a really good job of like pushing out the information that's going to affect us with release notes and like with like warnings and like heads up. Um and I really wish like all components of the business did that, but like obviously documentation is hard and making sure that we have all the things,
yeah.
the whole thing.
I
So
and I think and maybe it's a sign of the times, but I feel like maybe 5 years ago, something like this would have had lots of admin friendly webinars and walkthroughs, and like Jen Lee would have been smiling at us and telling us exactly what to do and how to get through it. And that's not really happening as much as it used to. And maybe it's an opportunity for us to, like those of us who have a voice that can be heard in the ecosystem, be like, we still need that. There's still lots of people who aren't relying only on Claude to translate tech jargon into action items. So,
hmm.
because I think this was a big one.
Yeah, I do think it was disruptive, right?
Yeah,
It wasn't just like a new feature, a new thing, or and like a different pathway. It was a like entirely like it was a complete blocker if
yeah,
you weren't ready for this. So that's I don't know. I'm really glad that we have people in place. Aurora.
Yeah. So, I mean, luckily we're a small org. There's under 40 of us in the
So
org
did you just
itself.
turn off export reports for everyone?
No, I mean, so this was our main login initially. So then we have, luckily, we have one pass. So we set up the pass key as the phishing
Hmm.
resistant, which was really easy to do. But having a backup, now I'm having to go through those handful of people and just saying, hey, kind of set up your Touch ID or your like hello, whatever with Windows and like your Face ID basically.
yeah,
And one of them didn't work for our CFO. He couldn't get in. So he had to scan his. And I was like, well, in theory, we're fine as long as passkey doesn't go down. And we can, as long as another admin can give you access, it's not a huge deal, but still annoying.
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
you have a plan in place. So
Yes, we do.
that's the win. I saw someone on LinkedIn post about their workaround for the phishing resistant MFA and as a consultant to log into multiple orgs with multiple people or whatever the case was. And I was like, why are you posting this?
Yeah. Why are you telling everybody how to
Uh,
hack the system, right?
right. I was like, you do realize like if this continues, they're going to block that also. Like that is going to become a a gate that is going to close very hard and fast, and it's probably going to happen anyway. But um, you're encouraging people to use this path that was like fenced off gently.
Yeah, more of a yellow merge sign versus a red stop sign. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely.
And I'm like, I why would you post that on LinkedIn? But like, this is not a best practice, but it's a workaround. I'm like, I don't think it's not just the best practice. I think there's another word for that. Maybe.
Hack.
Pattern.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. That's good. That's yeah.
Linda and Mike, yeah, same. Right.
Huh.
So we don't have any questions this week. Well, turn off the recording, Squire. We can just like shoot.
Yeah, we can just talk. Yeah, that'll be great.
I have a funny joke if anyone wants to hear this.
Always.
Okay.
Okay,
Let's
so
start there.
I'm a consultant. I have clients. Talking to a client, and I'm sorry.
It's already funny, Christy. Come on.
I can't even show you, but I'm going to describe it. But so I wanted to show them what a compact header was and the path. And I said, let's just go over to your lead object instead of the case. Case didn't have it.
Mhm.
And I swear to God, the statuses of their lead and this is a new department joining some other department on here because, that's why we're doing it. Open, convert, in progress, unqualified, stupid. Swear to God. I'm laughing on the client call because I'm like, in my 11 years, I've never seen their status of a lead is stupid.
I really want the definition.
I did tell my client I need the backstory on this, so they have to ask the other side. Okay.
There's got to be a better word.
Was there workflow help that was just like this long rant about bad leads or something?
There's
'Cause that
no
would be
lead
even
really
better.
in that status, so I don't
No.
know. There's not enough information, but I was laughing.
That's great.
So this brings us to another, I don't know. I've got thoughts about this, right? And one of them is that all of the language that's used in your org should be customer friendly. Whether it's notes about the customer or if it is put something that you're entering in, or if it's a data field, like whatever, it should all be customer friendly because once upon a time I worked in an org where the users were putting notes in that used similar language, and maybe it was more colorful at times and poor lettered and whatnot, and they were putting that into the notes of an activity. Hello, Taco. All right, Squire, this is on you. I have to come right back. I have to let him out.
Okay. All right. We'll let Joy finish that in a second. Chrissy, I have two follow-up questions. One,
He's so close.
Why did I think you were like
In
not
an office
retiring,
today?
but maybe taking maybe retiring? Did I misunderstand that a couple months ago? Or were you just changing like firms or something?
Who are you talking
No,
to? Oh, Christy,
mean,
thank God.
U6 became Bridge Next, but I've been at this one for a while. But no, there's no retirement is not a thing in my life because I pay $1,975 a month for Parent Plus loans because I let my youngest go out of state.
Yep. No, I get it. The second question is, so many months ago, we talked quite a bit about my recent graduate son and what he was going to do, and you shared the success that your son has had in the Salesforce space. Sad story, happy story. So mine started a software development job in January that he quickly then lost in May. And so now he's back on the unemployment track. And I was like, I can get you a job, but you have to take the admin trail and take the exam. And so he did. He didn't pass. We didn't expect him to. And he's like, I think there's something here. I was like, yeah. And so now he's starting the dev path, and he's hoping that a combination of doing the dev path and re-preparing for admin, he might get that cert. And I'm trying to get him a kind of a contract to hire admin.net, like learn what real work is like now that you're out of college kind of thing. So we'll have to compare notes again in a little while. So
Nice. That
Yeah.
sounds awesome.
but it was good advice, and he finally listened to those of us who know that it was a good idea. So we'll fingers crossed it'll work out for him. So
Okay. Awesome.
because your son still does what he was doing, or has he moved on, or
Oh no, he's still a product owner. He works for Estes Logistics, and he's also I will call him, mind you, I've been in the ecosystem at least 8 years. He's been here 3, but I'll still call him all the time and we'll talk flow together because he is that smart and he just, I mean, he picked it up just like this. I still personally believe, and you all know if you're a mom, right? He's worth more than he's getting paid right now, but that's just my own opinion because I'm a mom.
Yep. And dads feel the same way, right? So, all right. Well, we'll compare notes. Hopefully, next time we have a opportunity to talk, I'll be telling you about some opportunity that he has. So we'll see. But I do like the Full Comment's a great example. So he got done with the intro trail, and he was like, "I wish I had more hands-on to prepare for the exam." And I was like, "Yeah, I mean, it's really hard to get that experience." And he's like, "Well, like I want to build some flows. It seems really cool." And I was just like the little tear went down the side of my face. And I was like, "It is really cool, buddy." So we'll see what comes out of it.
Squire,
Yeah.
may I recommend the Tech Debt badge, where you can get in an org that has some stuff to mess around with. I'm not at all advocating for the badge that I worked on.
It's good content. And oddly enough, I sent him, I think there are still 3 or 4. I lost track of it. I was cutting and pasting, like build an app badges. And then the super badge that's still out there, that's probably too much for him right now. And then the Tech Debt one, because it does have that less
Special
about
org.
how to build, but why are you making changes content. And I was like, this will
Oh, I'm
put it all
not even
together.
talking about the content. I'm talking about the org that comes with it.
Oh, okay.
Right? Because you can do different stuff in there, and there's different things ready to break and
Sure.
whatever.
And
So
Squire, again, what is he into? Tell me what he's into.
He's just a software developer that doesn't
no,
really
no, no, no,
know.
no, no, no.
Yeah,
Christy is talking about personal interests.
Oh,
Yeah.
He is your standard sit in front of a computer and play games so your eyes bleed type kid. So
Okay, what kind of games?
shoot 'em ups.
Okay.
I don't
So-
really get them.
And that's how when I was introducing Richard to the ecosystem and everything, he loves Marvel movies. And so I wanted him to actually create a junction object between the movies and the characters, because if you base anything on what you know, so find a way that he can incorporate the games, the shooters, something with an automation in flow to build, because then he'll get it faster.
A
100%
data
agree.
set that he's comfortable with. You know this, Squire.
Yeah.
Have him inventory all your board games.
Well, so it's interesting. So one of the other things that we do is we play a CCG that we both really like. And so I was like, build a deck builder in Salesforce, import data, give us a UI, how are you going to manage collections, things like that. Like you said, it resonates because it's data you care about and a process you care about. And then how do I use the tools to care about it? So I think that'll be maybe the next project. So
nice. I have 10 teachers in my family, and
yeah. I mean, I think we've all given that advice for anybody who's taking the cert, like do the badge, do the cert, then apply it to something you actually care about, because that's how it'll stick. So, yep. Anyway, thanks.
Yeah,
You're welcome.
anytime. Taco doesn't want back in yet. I can see the door though.
Back to what you were talking about, Joy. I know what you're just about to say, because the activity notes get sent in an email, because my reps found out the hard way back at New Penn Motor Express. Yeah.
So it came to me while I was bouncing. There was a story. This is not a Joy occurred to Joy story, that someone in our space had said that there was a mail merge used, and the first name had been amended to include a life-changing event of the human. So like Joe Smith, sorry, Joe Smith, it's not really Joe Smith. It was Joe, life-changing event, name, first name, went out.
Oh.
Yeah. So instead of it being like Joy has a new dog, Taco, it was Joe has a life-changing event as their first name in a mail merge, and it went out. And so that was kind of a light bulb moment for me. It was like, all CRM language must be customer friendly. All of it. There's no exceptions, even if they are being excused as a customer from your company. All of it must be customer friendly. It's
One
hard.
of
It's
my
What are your what,
got
Mike?
it. One of my early jobs was a supervisor in a call center, and we had an EVS1 mainframe before Salesforce, and we had an EVS1 mainframe well after Salesforce too. Um, but in the system, you could add comments, you could not remove comments. And as a supervisor, I would frequently be called on to basically review a whole lot of history. And I got in an account, and the call was actually from our legal department because we had been subpoenaed, and they needed a readout of everything that was in the EVS1 mainframe system because they were not users. And I had to read to our attorney everything that was in our notes because they were all going to be subpoenaed. And that is when I realized that what you write down anywhere in any capacity is not safe. It doesn't matter if it's written down, if it exists. It can show up in court, and then people look bad. And we looked real bad. That is
Colorful language with negative sentiments all around, I'm sure, is what
yeah,
came out.
yeah,
And
yeah.
what's the word, that the keyboard warriors, right? They seem to surface when they think that people aren't going to see what they have to say, but
Yeah.
that's
I've seen some really entertaining code comments too, but code comments they have a special place in my heart.
but
Yeah.
Like
but
the like
but still
well, right, but code comments, I think there's
have
a
less of a chance to get exposed to an external customer, sure.
y-
But your
yeah,
internal customers,
right, but I enjoy code comments that are funny. Like, if you put something in your code that is like, I personally have wasted, 32 hours of my life attempting to untangle this particular hot mess or whatever. Like, I appreciate that. That's fantastic. That should be there. Like
Yep.
warnings to whoever comes after you,
Yep.
unless you're Linda Kane.
A little bit of whimsy is good if you can
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
that. Some companies don't, but
Yeah.
We have a chatter logging app that I had to write about 15 years ago, or no,
Okay.
12 years ago. And there are multiple comments in it that basically say, this isn't the right way to do this. This is how I did it. Fix it someday. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, sometimes you got to own it. It's like, I just had to put the Band-Aid on, but someone should refactor this who is not dangerous. And so, yeah. Fortunately, we just deprecated it when we got Global Relay, but at the time it was important. So
was that something you'd have your summer intern do? Is fix
Yes.
that stuff or
Yes.
something?
Well, honestly, there are, like, a lot of times our dev ones, when they come in as interns or new employees, the first thing that people will do was be like, hey, read this and tell me what you do to fix it. Don't fix it, but tell us what you think. And a lot of times it's really it's a good opportunity to both understand what they know, but it also like turns into this great, like almost like a pairing up exercise, but they don't realize that they're being like not judged on it, but like you right away you're like, oh, this guy's or this gal's really smart. So anyway,
it's
I
a
love
fresh
that approach.
perspective opportunity also, because they may have like tripped on something in their recent learnings that is new and exciting and applicable that maybe we missed because we didn't read the release notes that came out to to cover the thing that they're telling us about. It's fantastic.
Well, and now everybody just relies on an AI tool to tell them what's wrong with it, and that's also a great opportunity to be like, well, why do you think that, right? So,
for sure,
because if they can't speak to it, then
Yeah, I did something very similar when I interviewed developers, and it's one of the, I mean, not the only reason, but one of the enduring reasons why I am aware that Linda is an incredibly good developer is because of how she handled my dev interview. And I like that approach of just being like, I put this up here. I don't need you to edit it. I don't need you to do it. I just want you to talk about it.
Yep.
Read it to me and tell me what you think. Like, do you think it's amazing? I hope not. This will be a very short interview. But like, what do you want to object in it? Because you can tell the skill of the person that you're talking to by what they notice and what they notice first.
Yep.
Because Linda, if you don't mind, I will talk about you. There was some like really obvious stuff. Like there's code in a trigger. Even a basic dev should object to code being in the trigger. There's SOCL in a query, or there was a DML in a query, right? Don't do that.
DML in a loop. You mean?
Or DML in a loop. What? I don't remember the code. See,
I
more.
still have the
You
code.
tell me all the problems that were in. I don't.
It was a before trigger with an update.
Yes.
Okay, you know what?
um,
What happened here?
Well, I do know the thing that I loved about it was what the code was doing shouldn't happen. And so what I wanted was like the top tier, the best thing that you could say to me is what is wrong with this code is that it shouldn't exist. If you can read the code and then understand what's happening and then think about that against what Salesforce does, you should look at this piece of code and go, this just shouldn't happen at all. Like you don't do that. It's not sustainable, doesn't make sense. There's an out of the box thing that will do something better than what this does anyway. So just don't do that at all. And Linda is out of I kid you not, over the years I've interviewed with that block of code, over 100 people, Linda is the only person to object to that the code should exist.
And now you've shared your answers with the internet.
I have, but I'm
he'd
not
already
interviewing
shared
any
it.
developers anymore. Yeah.
And
I don't interview devs.
When I use that code, that's not exactly what I'm asking. So
Oh, you use that code too?
Well,
Now
now
I
she
do.
can't. She's got
Are
you.
you
well,
like,
no, I can.
Mike
I
is
can
so
totally
bad at
still
writing
use
code.
it.
Look at this. He wrote this. It's terrible.
I totally can because
Say
that's
more
not-
about that. I'll be
I'm
right
not
back.
asking the same question. I am using it to find senior level people and how they mentor. How do you mentor other people?
That's a good. That was my follow-up question. Was if you were coaching to a person who had written this code, what would you look at first?
I mean,
And I
especially
remember
with Claude now. My favorite
yeah.
is when I say Claude created this code.
There's the taco.
Well, I remember when I asked you, because what you did is you went, where do I begin? And I was
and I think I
like,
was not giving. I gave the sailor answer too.
Yeah, but it is interesting to see what people object to. And I think you could do the same thing within an admin space too. I mean, you could build a flow that is like not obnoxiously long, but visually broken. That isn't just, it's the way in which it's going about doing what it's doing is not right.
Do you
And
think
what it
we
is
can
doing
ask
is
Claude
fundamentally
to
wrong.
like build us a broken flow?
Probably.
Yeah, build a flow with the
Yes.
worst possible patterns and then just install it, right?
Build us a
I'm
broken
sure.
flow for interviewing purposes to
But you don't want
find the
it
people.
broken. It needs to be deployable. So it needs to actually work. It just does not work in the right way.
Yeah, work
I don't know
badly.
if
And then I
Yeah.
just
Deployable with worst
Just gonna
practices. Got
put
it.
something over all the warnings and things that are going to automatically pop up screaming at you. You can't even save this. Okay. What you've done here is wrong. Like, that's what Flow does.
That's if you have Claude.
Well, I was
Well,
suggesting that
again,
perhaps
No, I got suspended. I'm like, I barely even use this. Yes,
you were token maxing, Pat. Come on.
I don't even know what token maxing is. I mean, okay. I'm still suspended. I've appealed it 2 or 3 times and they just give me some generic answer and won't tell me what they saw that I did. And I took the user guidelines and I took my whole Claude thing, which was about 2.5 months, and I asked in Chat GPT, to tell me what I did. And it basically came up, well, we really don't see anything. You did ask something about borrowing some money somewhere or to pay off, or, but for the most part, we don't see anything.
Hmm.
So
Wait, Claude suspended you or your workplace suspended you?
Claude suspended me.
Wow.
Yes.
Oh,
Took-
you're super naughty, Pat. Way to go.
Come on. You know what? I use Claude as a not Claude, not as a verified, but as a glorified better than Google. I mean,
It's
or
interesting.
hey, I've got these 5 things. Write the paragraph for me for this thing.
Mhm.
you
So
know?
I don't know what the user rules are, right, for Claude off the top of my head, but I did have someone else in my life tell me that they got suspended from something, and I Googled what they thought was the issue. I was like, oh yeah, you broke the rules. And they're like, well, what am I gonna do? And I'm like, you're gonna wait till your suspension is lifted and not do it again. But other people have done it. I was like, well, yeah, but they probably like skirted the issue with different types of images or different verbiage or whatever it is, but like they didn't do what you did.
Well, it was a
And
paid $20 Claude thing, and they refunded my money and said I'm suspended forever.
Wow, Pat.
man, go to the FBI, get a new
Pat.
identity.
Yeah, exactly.
I've got about
Do
5
not
other
pass go.
emails that I could
Do not
probably
collect
use, but
$200.
I'm like, I didn't do anything.
It's wild.
Bye, Taco.
That's crazy.
Okay, so I have a question for my dear friend Mike, who is front and center on my computer right now. Hi, Mike. Lovely to see you. By the way, that up close and personal with you, Mike, was just made me giggle. So thank you. I needed that. It's been a week.
Anytime.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
It has been a week.
It has.
And
So-
it is we are on day 6 of the week of 7 days. So
Yes. So yes, that's the good news. So I am currently without clients.
Mhm.
My one client just finished, didn't have budget for me, which is fine.
Mhm.
I'm okay with it. The other one and I had a miscommunication in my departure, but anyway, that's another story for another time.
Mhm.
But so anyway, so I'm thinking about learning, and you are Mr. Slack, sir, because I saw Slack School. So
I mean, that'll keep you busy for
I
like
do-
2 days.
I do a lot of Slack school.
Just
So do
watching
you-
all those
2
videos,
days.
right? 2
All I
days,
got,
like
2 days.
like
2 days.
48 hours. I think it's less than 48 hours.
Yeah, no, I don't have 48 hours on this brain straight. No. Do you have suggestions on getting to know Slack better and using it better? Because I'm a very basic Slack user, I have to say.
Wait, Mike,
Wait.
hold on. Squire says hand up.
No,
Oh my
I'm behind you 100%, Allison. I'm a terrible Slack user. I can't get good at it because it's not a mainstay of my career. So I can't wait to hear what Mike has to offer.
Oh, this is
Okay.
great.
Thank you, Squire. Yes.
I mean, I would say that Slack School covers a lot of topics, right? Or I have managed to cover a lot of topics, but also there are a lot of different directions where people want me to create content for Slack School. And so I would say that what Slack School has managed to do so far is, and this is including episodes that people haven't seen yet, but like very, very 101, this is what Slack is. And if you look at the earliest episodes, up through the 3 or 4 that I did on workflows and then workflows working with flows, I think it's a fantastic place to start. Because when you learn the platform, there are some high level best practices that I could teach you in like 10 minutes. Like channel naming conventions matter more than you think they do. That's a thing, right?
Yeah.
They matter more than you think you do, right? Or
Okay.
than you think that they do. Probably the biggest areas of things that you genuinely want to wrap your head around is actually not so much about Slack, but about how Slack is different from Salesforce. Salesforce works on records and rows, and our security model applies to both the records and the records and columns, right? So you got
Okay.
rows and columns, and
Yes.
Salesforce regulates who can see this row and who
Mhm.
can see the column.
Mhm.
Slack regulates one thing. Are you a member of the channel?
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
What happens in the channel is significantly harder for me to regulate because it isn't data, right? If I tell you that, like Salesforce office is at 450 Mission Street in San Francisco,
Mhm.
in Salesforce, you know that address, right? You get street, city, state, zip, country,
Yeah.
postal code. You get
Yeah.
all of those discrete data points, and they're each individually regulatable, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Put that in the context of Slack, it's just a message, and I've thrown some emojis in there and whatever, or I like dropped a pin. So like I gave you the address by giving you a link to its location in maps. And then
Mhm.
there's like a render of a map, right? Like the way that we regulate who can see what is so dramatically different. And
Okay.
the little things like the best practices and those things, you'll kind of get a feel for those as you begin to use the tool more frequently. If you
Mhm.
don't use the tool, you're going to continue to have that basic surface level of like, I
Yeah.
get I can make comments here. I get I can search at the top. And
Yeah.
that's fine if you're a casual user. If you want to talk about it at a big enterprise level, the big difference is in security and how you keep it a safe environment for everyone who's in it and the data that will go into it. Because the
Okay.
data that lives in Slack is unstructured and different, right?
Yeah.
The flip side of that is when you use the Salesforce data in Slack, the data isn't actually in Slack. It's in Salesforce. We are literally a UI at that point. We retain and hold zero data,
Okay.
like none at all. Like
Okay.
even the mapping table lives in Salesforce.
Mm.
So we like Slack genuinely does not know what's happening. We know who's logged in, and then we
Okay.
go, "Hey, Salesforce, give me what they need," and then we show it to you. We don't even look. We're like, "There you
Oh, okay.
go." And so on that front, it's like incredibly lazy, right? Slack's role in that is very lazy, which is great because it makes it super easy to admin.
Yeah.
Where it gets entertaining is, and this is where like if you're really going to learn, I would start to look at what features Flow has. So there's a bunch of flow actions for Slack, like being able to create a record channel, archive a record channel, add a user to a channel, all sorts of things.
Mhm.
Those features are fundamentally going to be the building blocks that you use to think about how you use Slack as an enterprise.
Okay.
And how would my customer actually make use of Slack?
Mhm.
And then the flip side of that is, of course, the workflow builder, which workflow builder is super easy. The metric we have that we talk about, we did a survey with like 10,000 people who built Slack workflows, and
Mhm.
about 83% of them consider themselves to be non-technical. And that's because building Slack workflows is very clickable. It's very
Mhm.
easy. If you put something in the wrong spot, you drag it and drop it around, and everything just sort of works out. And
Mhm.
now, if you get stuck, you can just literally open Slackbot and be like, I'm trying to do this and it does not work. Why does it not work? And then Slackbot's like, oh, do that instead of this, and it'll
Yeah.
magically work.
Okay.
So like, if you think about what can be automated, like what
Mhm.
are your tools?
Yeah.
And you think about business processes, you'll start to see like, oh, you know what? If I do this, that'll make a lot of sense.
Okay. Great. Well, thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
My next era is going to be I've determined this. It's going to be wellness and learning.
I love that.
So yeah, that's where I'm at.
One thing I know you're between clients, but I have a friend who uses Slack to manage her consulting business. So like
Mhm.
you might think about, if you don't already have your own workspace, getting a free one, and like figuring out, like she uses canvases, like every client has a canvas where she puts a bunch of stuff in it.
Mhm.
I'm just discovering lists, which I just like adore. I'm using them as a ticketing system. Like lists are awesome.
The free Slack though,
Maybe it
Mike,
doesn't
what
have
has
lists.
has a rolling 90 days, and I think Slackbot is limited and some of the features are limited. I don't
Yeah,
know all
that's
the
true.
details on that, but it's something, it's a great place to explore.
Mhm.
But I do know that if you turn on a trial org that has that 90-day rolling, if you turn it on later, the pre 90-day history is still there. Like it'll come up when you start paying for it.
Okay.
So it's not
for a certain amount of time,
right. It's
we'll
not going to be
keep
like
that, but
forever.
yeah.
It won't be
Yeah.
forever. But
Okay.
like if you get to like 100 days, you're not going to lose those first 10 days. Like,
Okay.
Yeah.
they'll-
If you really want to learn Slack, in the very first episode of Slack School, I talk about going to slack.dev and signing up
Okay.
for the developer program.
Oh.
Um,
Okay.
Slack does this thing. I argue with the people a lot, and the people don't like me because I argue with them. But the word developer is abused and used in many ways in which it should not be. One of them is with the Slack developer program. Slack's developer program is for all of the people who build things in Slack. And if you build a workflow, you're a developer.
Okay.
That is not how humans classify themselves. We have other words. Some of us might call ourselves admins or builders or whatever, right? Like, so the developer program truly is just like, if you want to not be a user, you want to be more than a user in any capacity, dev program is for you. We give out sandboxes and they're free. And the sandbox is actually an enterprise edition. So enterprise is our top tier, comes with all the Slackbot, comes with all the lists, all the canvases, the huddles, the things, like it's everything. Slack community is also really fantastic. It's a good, thank you, Sarah. It's a really good place. If you're trying to connect with me or other builders, absolutely, we'll do all of that. And Stuart's podcast is very interesting. Stuart Butterfield was the original founder of Slack. He created the video game that failed twice, and resulted in Slack being a product.
Wow.
There's actually an episode of him on, I think the podcast is called How I Built This. It's an NPR podcast.
Yeah. I
and
just linked it.
talks about, oh, that's the How I Built This podcast?
Yep.
Awesome. So, yeah. So Stuart has done a couple of different things that have been pretty notable, but it's interesting because he talks about like his failed video game history, which is, is Slack. And what's great about it is my Slack instance, not the big Salesforce one, but the Slacky Slack one, is called Tiny Spec, which is the original company. And the game Glitch shows up in a lot of different things. Like Huddle music is actually all from the game Glitch. And yeah, and when you like, if something actually does go wrong, which every once in a while I'll get that, you'll see a thing that says there's been a glitch, and then there's this like really happy looking whimsical background that you can like scroll through, and that is one of the screens from Glitch. So there's a bunch of, it's like, I think it's actually interesting because it's the way that Slack functions, like woven into the fabric of Slack is this like peaceful love, everything's going to be great. Because Glitch was World of Warcraft without the violence. You could join with your friends, you could go on quests, you could build things. You didn't have any capacity in the game to harm or disparage others. There was no like, I'm going to accidentally hit you with my sword. Can't happen. Like it couldn't happen. And that ultimately there wasn't a good fit in the market for that.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how we got to where we got.
Gotcha.
But that sort of like ethos flows through the tool. That's why you see these really simple things. Like when you're in a huddle and you hover over your own picture, it says you look nice today, because Slack loves you and wants you to have a good day.
I saw that this morning and I was like, "Aw, thank you."
Yeah, it's just like it's one of those like really simple little things. But it's one of the reasons why the platform's so amazing.
I love that. Thank you. And thank you.
Nowadays, you look nice today. You're like, where's the camera looking at me?
Yeah, exactly. Like,
Right.
What's happening? But it's so sweet when I go into Slack and I'm like, it's like, you look nice today. And it's like, I do?
Yeah.
Here, you got everything done.
like-
Here's a pony. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
exactly. I like that one. I need to go run because I'm gonna go see my kids in their summer school play thing.
Later.
So
That is
see
a
y'all.
big cat.
Bye,
right there.
kids.
Bye, Mike.
Bye.
Yeah,
Aw.
this is Jesse. He's a chonk.
Oh, how
Joy,
sweet.
since I'm such a non-techie, what's this stuff you linked in here? I mean, I'm not.
So the Slack community
Mhm.
is you're familiar with the Trailblazer community groups. Slack community has a similar situation, and so if you are in a geography, you can join a Slack community. Part of joining the Slack community brings you into a Slack instance and into that community's Slack channel. And then you can also learn Slack there also, Allison. And then the slack.dev link is there as well. And that Mike was talking about. There are a number of Slack badges also that came through Trailhead recently. And you can flex that learning as well. There's a lot of content there.
Gotcha.
What else? But the one thing about being in the Slack community's Slack instance is Slackbot is on.
Oh, I like that.
And so you have this access that you wouldn't get with a free instance of Slack that you are trying on. Does that make
Okay.
sense?
Yeah.
Because Salesforce and Slack are hosting that instance and Slackbot is on in that space. So
Kind of like, it's like Ohana Slack, but specifically about Slack.
yeah, Ohana Slack is a community-driven Slack instance that is paid for
Right.
by Salesforce, where the Slack community
Right, it's
is
run by Salesforce.
the Slack communities
Well, Slack.
run by Slack. Yes.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit different rules if you're in Ohana Slack versus
This is
Slack
true.
community. So it's different features because not only is it owned by Salesforce and Slack, it is driven by Salesforce and Slack, and it's just a different, bigger space. Ohana Slack is definitely like that grassroots stuff that happened, and that existed before Salesforce purchased Slack, and it was Megan who demanded from Brett that Salesforce pay for Ohana Slack for us, and that's the origin of that. And wow, I just got a little bit caught up. Megan was a good egg. Okay, so it is 1:50. We have 10 minutes. No other challenges came up in the call. I have questions for all of you. Like, are we working towards any certifications anywhere currently? Pat, what are you working on?
Revenue Cloud.
Okay.
And to get my AI specialist. I
And the
probably
AI
went
stuff.
more
Okay.
toward Revenue Cloud.
Okay. And then Allison, you're working on the Slack stuff and what else?
Slack stuff and AFNP.
The who?
NPC.
NPC.
The nonprofit. Okay.
Oh, yeah, nonprofit.
The new
I know,
NPC.
there's so many different names and acronyms and sorry.
Agentforce nonprofit.
Yeah. So
I cannot do the acronyms. I'm out of words. Like I need the words. Please give me the words.
Agentforce nonprofit, Slack, and Agentforce at some point.
All right, that's good stuff. Yeah. There was a whole Agentforce event in Chicago yesterday, and I couldn't get to it because I had I had a release yesterday. But Squire, you're working on Data Cloud.
Amazing.
I mean, I'm always working on all the things. I saw Aurora mention that she was going to take the consultant exam. That's the next thing on my list to check off. So I did the consultant one 2 or 3 years ago, and so I need to do the dev one. But the content looks really good at Dreamforce this year at the boot camp.
That's I cannot stress that the boot camps and the exam, like doing that at Dreamforce is such a fantastic,
or TDX
or either. Yes,
TDX, it just feels like it's perfect timing in my mind. You do them both, and then you're like, oh, and then I'm going to go sit through some dev sessions that are targeted directly at me about the thing I just learned about. Yeah, it's great.
Learn more about the things. It's fantastic.
I was supposed to take sharing and visibility a couple weeks ago, but I never got past the loading screen because Pearson is crap. So anyway, they gave me a voucher and I'm now scheduled to take it later this year, but kind of like it's worth driving to 2 hours to the testing center.
That was the whole debate that we had, right?
Yeah, I know. But I tried it one more time and I was like,
Why wouldn't it load? It's a full 30 minutes to get past all the crap they want you to do.
Allison brought us a big dog.
Why wouldn't it load, Sarah?
I don't know. They kept loading the exam and then it would crash and it said, we'll reload it. And I did that for another half hour. And I was like, by this point, I'd be halfway to the testing center already. So
yeah.
Anyway.
Aurora, I'm in your Who
Just
is that,
make it-
Allison?
This is Oliver.
Oliver, that's
Oliver.
fantastic.
Ollie.
Oliver's like, who are these people? That's a cat. I like
Yeah, he's staring
Yeah.
at Chessie.
Yes,
He's a Catahoula German Shepherd mix.
Yeah,
that's
he
fantastic.
You have lots
Aurora,
of-
My
Yeah.
testing center is not too far from me in Indy, about 5 miles, but the one that's 5 miles,
Get down.
they don't keep the keyboards real clean. So I'm like,
Oh.
you don't have to touch
Sanitizing
the
wipes.
keyboard. You just
Yeah.
need the mouse.
Yeah.
Ask for
Yeah,
a
but-
glove.
Bring wipes. I've seen people bring Clorox wipes to the testing center, and they'll allow you to clean it before you start.
okay.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, I used to always take the test at Dreamforce, but I haven't been to Dreamforce for the last couple of years. So
Me either.
Is anyone going to Dreamforce this year? Squire, you're going.
Of
I'm
course.
going
Can't
for a bit. Uh,
For a bit. What does
for a
that mean?
bit. It means I have a conflict and I'm going to make I'm going to make it work out. But it'll be fine. And then, but Aurora, so you can walk to your testing center. Mine is like maybe a 10-minute drive, but like, I think if you are not in a bigger metro area, it's tougher. Like,
Yeah.
because they're not as prevalent. My first test I took was downtown Chicago, which actually turned out to be in the same building of a company I worked in next.
oh, funny.
So
Well, that worked
Like,
out.
this looks familiar.
it was funny because it clicked when I went to get lunch one day. I was like,
You're like, wait, this looks familiar.
right, because I took it. Okay, are you ready? So I took the exam around in fall, think like late October, early November, or maybe it was now I'm confused. Anyway, but like I had the sandwich at the little like deli that was like right in the lobby of the building, and I was like, wait a second, I had the sandwich when I did the thing here at the thing, and I'm like, I'm working in the building where I took my it was a whole thing. I was like, Chicago is a very small place. So
By the way, I love your city. I got to do Dreaming and Data in there, and that was lots of fun. So
yeah, Chicago's a lot of fun. Like,
It is.
it's
I like the
it's
fact that
also
we walk.
you can walk there. You can walk lots of places there,
walk
but you
and
can also
walk and
walk from
walk.
end to end. And, people are talking about like folks from Lollapalooza ending up in strange neighborhoods. I was like, oh yeah, because they don't know where they're at. Like they're all over the place. I'm like, they're just walking to the next metro station or wherever they are to get back to their suburbs. But that's neither here nor there. So,
Oh, you didn't see what I brought home from Chicago. Hang on. Oh,
Whoa.
That's big Einstein. Holy cow.
he's ginormous.
If you sit them on a
That's
box
bigger than my
in your
baby.
car, you could probably go in the carpool lane.
I probably could. So yes, I managed to get him home by shoving him in a box from the hotel because there was no way I was keeping him on the plane to,
Yeah.
get home. So, but anyway, he was my Chicago souvenir. And I heard they're not making these anymore.
I don't know what I expected, but it was not an Einstein bigger than your dog.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic.
Yes.
Well, I do have we had a Chicago admin and women in tech meeting Wednesday, and my counterpart Denise Carboni talked about the evolving role of the Salesforce admin, and she's actually going to be talking about it at Dreamforce, and it's going to be on Salesforce Plus, and I'm super excited to see how that talk goes, and I would love for everyone to see it and have feedback for her because she's been very thoughtful about it, and she's been in the Salesforce ecosystem forever, and
Longer than you?
I don't know her first user date, but she was the first female MVP in Chicago,
Wow.
and the first woman community group leader in the ecosystem.
Wow.
So Denise has been around a long time, and she was one of the original organizers of Midwest Dreamin'. So
What is everybody's tenure? I'm just curious. We've never actually talked about that.
2003 is when I got my first taste of Salesforce.
Nice.
August 4th, 2017.
17.
I know that.
August 4th.
and I have a Facebook memory of the
Happy
first time I
anniversary.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, that's my first date anniversary with my husband, and we just celebrated 20 years. Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
What else we got?
I have to look it up because it was either 2016 or 2017, also in August. And I'm like, oh, are we 10 years yet? I don't
like
know.
karma, world, universe stuff
Yeah.
going on for us.
Yeah.
I don't remember my exact, probably like 2020,
2020.
2020.
Like right
I
around
think.
COVID, you said where you started?
Yeah.
It was before COVID.
Okay.
So
Linda, what do you got? When did you first enter the ecosystem?
2008.
2008.
wow.
Tony's
We
just
don't
lurking in
know.
the background. It's great. Tony's
Yeah.
going to tell us maybe in the chat, but he's muted, so we won't get that for a minute. This is amazing. Pat, what about you? What was your first year?
2017, I think.
17.
But I know it was when Trailhead wasn't as
Robust.
sophisticated as it is now. So I just started like right in the middle somewhere. Somebody started talking to me about change sets.
Wow.
What are those?
Wait, change sets. Don't you just build in production?
No, I didn't say that. But I'm like, what are
You
those?
Speaking
thought
of
it.
DevOps, yeah, no kidding.
Funny story.
And what's
The
really
first year.
Go ahead.
Oh,
Sorry.
So I looked up 2016, so coming up on 10 years now, which is amazing. But my first year of building in Salesforce,
Bye,
I built
Christy.
everything in the sandbox, including all of our data was in a sandbox because I didn't want to mess up production. So we
You were
like
super
worked out of
safe.
a sandbox until, and then we had to like transfer all the data from sandbox into production. It was a mess. It was so bad.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Sarah, so your org is coming up on COA.
It is.
That's really exciting. I
know.
have been in 2 orgs that have crossed the COA threshold of 10
Yeah.
years in the ecosystem. My current org is not. But you know, I'm like, well, I mean, I got 2 surfboards. I don't
Yeah, do they
They're
even
from
do those anymore? I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know how
Yeah.
Salesforce recognizes
Stuff.
customer accounts for the 10-year window anymore, but because I passed that already, like with 2 other
Yeah.
customers.
I don't think they do because we didn't get anything. Ours is 16 years old.
You didn't get
I
anything
think-
at
I
10?
think they- I think
Well,
they stopped that.
but Squire,
know
your
in our
10-year
hearts.
your 10-year would have been COVID.
The mail still worked.
They didn't mail the things.
You had to go.
Oh,
to
you had to like go and
Dreamforce.
like get
Those
it?
were things that I picked up at a Dreamforce because I was
Yeah.
invited to some event because of the 10-year customer
Okay.
thing.
Somebody told me about they had been invited to a COA thing and they're like, "What is this?" And they totally skipped it because they didn't even like it wasn't.
No,
very
it's
well
swanky. It's swanky.
I know.
You should go. You should
I'm
go if you get
jealous.
invited to a
We didn't
COA
get
thing.
jack.
Anyway,
Yeah.
friends, we are past time. It was really great to see you today. We'll see you in 2 weeks. The 17th, is that right?
Yep.
Yeah, August still.
No, 21st.
21st. Sorry. I'm sorry. I have like some time warps happening. So we'll talk to you all next time, and be safe. Keep track of your questions and throw them in the space for us. We'll get you.
Yep.
Okay.
Hey, everyone.
Bye,
Bye, all.
everybody.
Bye.